Hey guys, it's Licious Kid from Climax Combo, and we're back with another Leaks of the Week. This week is the final week for the Cinderella Girls trial deck that did get released on the 25th of September, but we're also starting a little bit of the Cinderella Girls booster pack, and I think that is coming out mid-October. I would like to say on the 16th or the 9th. I'm not exactly sure when, but sometime around mid-October. So yeah, fairly soon. I'm really excited for this booster just because my friend Domo is buying into this set, and also it's Cinderella Girls. I'm sure Bushiroad is going to make this set really good or broken, maybe, but I'm sure the set is going to be at least really strong. So yeah, always exciting to see a new series come to Weiss. I always rather see a strong series than a boring series. You know what I mean? So if this set becomes really good, I'm not going to complain because stronger sets coming to Weiss is always fun. But yeah, let's get started. First off, for Monday, 003K Ranko, 003K Ranko, 003K Ranko, and 003K Ranko. All of them same card, just alternate art, and all the same name, of course, not being honest with herself, Ranko. 003K, Music and Darkness. And that is all for Monday. This scene was really pretty funny and cute. Anyways, let's go on to Tuesday, 1165, my first star Rika, Music and Gyaru, and all she has is Hand Encore. This Rika would have been pretty good like 2 years ago when 1165s with Hand Encore was like pretty cool, but nowadays 11s with Encore of some kind usually need to meet some kind of condition, and usually they're like 117k, like the 117k Clock Encore Umi from Love Live, and I think like the 117k Ruka from Diva. So a little out of date just because like 1-1s usually with Encore are usually 7k now. And you know, they have like really easy conditions to meet, so it's not even like a condition at all, which is kind of BS. But hey, that's power creep for you. So a little outdated, but hey, for a trial deck card, it's not bad. So yeah, I'm sure when the booster comes out, they will get a better 1-1 option than this Rika. Anyways, next card, 001500, challenge to a game Miku, music and cat character. First of all, she is a level 0 suicider, and she has another ability of where she has act ability where you can place 2 of your characters to rest, and if you do, this card gains plus 2k power until the end of the turn. This Miku's not bad just because, first of all, she's a level 0 suicider, so that instantly makes her extremely playable, if not staple. So like that's already like really good off the bat. But her secondary ability is not bad either. You place 2 characters to rest, she gets plus 2k, so she will be 3-5, and that's a pretty respectable amount of power, which is always nice. So if you play this Miku, and then you're able to put 2 of your characters to rest, so she becomes a 3-5, if she's able to reverse an opponent's character without her being reversed herself, then next turn, your opponent has to respond to a level 0 suicider, and most of the time, most players respond to a level 0 suicider by suiciding into it. And if they do suicide into it after she successfully reversed one character, that's really good because this Miku essentially 2-for-1s, and 2-for-1ing in any card game is always really good. So the fact that this Miku does have the potential to 2-for-1 is nice. So for a trial deck card, it's very I think it's a really solid trial deck level 0 suicider. So definitely you can't complain. Anyways, let's go on. 105k TD, the beginning of the 14 people arena, music and rock. What she does is, she has a continuous ability of when you have 3 or more music characters, this card gains plus 1k power. So with 3 or more music characters, she'll be a 106k, which isn't too shabby, but nowadays, like 1-0s are usually like 6-5, so if this could be like a 1-0, so I'm sure when the booster comes out, they'll probably have like a 1-0-6-5 for blue, but still, once again, for our trial deck card, pretty solid 106k. A pretty solid 106k, I should say. So yeah, all these cards are really solid for trial decks. Anyways, let's go on to Wednesday, 2175 TD, meeting the trio Mika, Music, and Gyaru. She has an auto ability of when your other yellow characters declare an attack, she gets plus 1k power until the end of the turn. And she has an act ability of where you can place 1 of your yellow characters to rest. If you do, this card gains plus 1k power until the end of the turn. This Mika is not bad. If you tap 2 yellow characters, she becomes a 2-1-9-5, and if your other 2 front characters in the front row attacks, she'll be a 2-1-11-5, which isn't too bad. She'll probably kill most level 2s and like all level 1s, and against level 3s, she will probably probably force some kind of response to them, which is always really good. So this Mika is not bad, just really weak on defense, but on offense she's really strong. But so, once again, not a bad trial deck card, just because she can hit such high power. But when the trial deck comes out, I would like to see a better 2-1 option than this Mika. But like I said, it's not a bad card. And Mika's really cute, so another plus to this card. Anyways, let's go on to a very similar card. 2-1 8K TD, first job Chieti, Music and Clover. When this card is placed from your hand to stage, and you have 2 or more other music characters, she gets plus 2k power until the end of the turn. With such easy conditions, she might as well be an on-play 2-1 10k. So just like this Mika, really strong on offense, but really weak on defense. I think the Rika is better just because she hits higher power, and she's only 500 base power lower than this Chieti. So yeah, but this Chieti, once again, it's not bad. Just not that strong, but still, it's a trial deck. So for a trial deck card, she's not bad, better than those 2-2-9-5s. But like I said with the Mika, when the actual booster comes out, I do think they will get better 2-1 options than this Chieti. Anyways, lastly, 0-0 Cheering Anastasia, 500 power, music and start trait. She's 500 in front assist, and she has an act ability of you can put her to rest, and if you do, choose one of your music characters and gains plus 500 power until the end of the turn. We've seen assists like these in the past, like the 0-0 Tachibana assist in Nisekoi, and these assists aren't bad. 500 in front, always welcome, but also she gives, you can rest her to give a small amount of power, which is nice. That extra 500 might be the 500 you need to like force or get a successful reverse off, or force a backup, or just tie so you can crash into your opponent's character. So yeah, not a bad assist, especially for a trial deck, but I personally like my assists to have a little more utility, maybe like the 0-0 Chitoge / 0-0 Asuna in SAO, where they when you play Climax give an extra 1k. I prefer my assists to have a little more utility than that, but hey, like I said, for a level 0 assist for a trial deck, definitely not bad. But when the actual booster comes out, hopefully they'll get something better. If not, this Anastasia, like I said, is not a bad choice at all. So a very solid trial deck card once again. And it's Anastasia, she's really cute too. Anyways, on to Thursday, 0-0 Kirari, 1k power, music and happy. Of course she'll be happy Trey. Anyways, what she does is she has an auto ability of when this card is played from hand to stage, you can choose one of your level 1 or greater characters and give it +1 soul for the turn. And she has another ability of when she's sent from stage to waiting room, you can place the top 3 cards of your deck to your waiting room. So this Kirari, I think is pretty interesting. I think it's pretty good, and I definitely think it's a solid contender to run when the actual booster comes out. Her first ability is not bad. On play, you can give a level 1 or greater +1 soul until the end of the turn. Having extra soul is always nice. You can, side for damage with that extra soul, just push for more damage with that soul, and late game, you can also just use that extra soul to try to go for precise damage. So having that extra soul I think is really nice. So I think her first ability is really good, and her second ability is also really good as well. We've seen cards that mill when they're played from hand to stage, like the 0-0 Eddie, the 0-0 Mikon, the 0-0 what's her name, Mariel from Lock Horizon, and I think those are really good. This Kirari is a bit different from those because she has to be sent from stage to waiting room, so it's not from hand to stage. So it's like, so I don't think it's as good as when it's being played from hand to stage, like the 0-0 Eddie, because I think when it's played from hand to stage, I think it's better because you can use it faster, and when you need that free mill, you can get it as soon as you need it. This Kirari can't really do that because she'd be sent from stage to waiting room. But I do think this Kirari is, even though it's slower, I think it's still good. It has more, even though it's not as fast as an on-play ability, you can kind of be a little more versatile with this. Like, let's say you play this Kirari, you have 3 attacks. You attack with your first character, you trigger a climax. You attack with your second character, you trigger a book, let's say, and then you draw into another book, and you look in your waiting room, and you have like 4 climaxes, and you trigger 2, and then you have 1 in your hand, so there's 1 left in your deck. Then at that point you can choose to front attack with this Kirari, hopefully killing her off. That way you can at the end of your battle phase and at the end of encore phase you can put her to your waiting room and then choose to mill 3. So you can do stuff like that, after like a let's say you do an attack phase and you mill too many climaxes, you can just kill this Kirari off and then that way you can force yourself to mill. You can do something like that with her, or like even on defense, let's say this Kirari lives on your turn, the battle phase, and then let's say your opponent attacks you 3 times. Let's say you triple cancel, and then because you triple canceled, you might be low on climaxes in your deck. At that point, if they did kill Kirari, then you can choose to mill the 3 cards. So yeah, and if you do want to get the mill 3 like ASAP, kind of like on play, you can always choose to like play Kirari and then play over the Kirari. That way she's sent from stage to waiting room, and then you get to mill the top 3. If you do it like that, of course you are minusing yourself because you're killing off your Kirari intentionally, and you never want to minus yourself. However, when you need to like refresh just to get all the climaxes back in your deck, then you gotta do what it takes, because it's better to minus in resources than taking a buttload of potential damage. So yeah, this Kirari. So for that reason, I think this Kirari is really cool, and I think it's really good, and I definitely think it's a good card you can run when the actual booster comes out. So once again, for a trial deck card, it's really I think it's a really good trial deck card, and I think it's a fun card. If I was running Cinderella Girls, I would definitely consider this Kirari because I think it's really good. So, yeah. Too bad it's Kirari. I don't really like her. But that doesn't change the fact the card's pretty good. Anyways, next card. 217k TD. Her seriousness for the sake of stopping work. Anzu, music, and candy, of course. First of all, she has Hand Encore. And she has another act ability of you can place 2 of your red characters to rest. If you do, she has plus 2/5 power until the end of the turn. She's very similar to the Chieri, and they both come in the same trial deck, so I think that's a little weird. It's like they're both very similar, and they both come in the same trial deck, so I think that's a little unnecessary. But oh well, I don't make the trial decks. But she has Hand Encore, which is nice, because she's really weak on defense, but on offense she's fairly powerful. You just place 2 of your red characters to rest, and she'll be a 2195 on offense, which isn't too shabby for 1 stock. And next turn, when you're on your opponent's turn, she'll most likely die just because she's at 7k power. But she does have to Hand Encore to keep her around. So I think she's better than the Chieri, just 500 power lower than the Chieri. But Anzu has Hand Encore, and so she can repeatedly attack for a 2195. So I think she's better than the Chieri. And I still think it's kind of weird that they come in the same trial deck. Like, they're so similar, and I think the Anzu is better than the Chieri. So why'd they bother printing Chieri in this? Or why'd they give this Chieri this effect when they have this Anzu in the same trial deck? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I still think that's weird, but that's not the point. Overall, this Anzu is like Chieri, a solid trial deck card. But when the booster comes out, I do want to see better cards than this. Next up, we have this 2/1 Anastasia, debut confirmed, 8k, music and star. When this card reverses its opponent in battle, you can pay cost, which is 1. If you do, draw a card. And not that great. She's 2/1 8k, so she's really weak for an 8k, so it might be a little difficult for her to actually reverse something. It's nice that her ability isn't restricted to like a level. You can reverse anything, so if your opponent has like a level 0 in the front row, and then you can play this Anastasia in front of that level 0 and then kill it, and then you get to pay 1 and you get to draw a card. And then on your opponent's turn, if they attack into Anastasia, you could back up, and then since she reversed an opponent's character, you can pay 1 and you can draw a card since her ability works on any player's turn. So like, yeah, that's kind of cool, but she's really weak, so most of the time if she's trying to kill anything relevant, like if she's trying to fight a level 1 or a level 2 or a level 3, she's probably like, against a level 1 she might, like, you should still be scared of a backup just because Anastasia is so weak. Against a level 2, Anastasia is probably gonna lose, and against a level 3 she has no hope of winning. So this Anastasia, a little too much work to get going off in my opinion, so I don't think this Anastasia is really good. But it's a trial deck card, so it shouldn't be that good. So yeah, this Anastasia, a bit too much work to get off, so I don't think it's that good. And like the other 3, or like the other cards, when the booster comes out, I'm sure they'll get better options. But enough trial deck stuff, let's get to the exciting stuff. Bam, the first double R for Cinderella Girls. If you guys don't know how the Cinderella Girls ratio works, I do believe there are 15 double Rs in this series. So, yeah, a lot of double Rs. And this is the first of many to appear. 3-2 10k double R, Kazanki Ranko, music and darkness, of course. When she's playing from hand to stage, you heal, and she has another ability of when this card declares an attack with Climax, Legnate, Vengeful Sword, Melody of Light, which is the book you see right here. All three of these are the same book. You can place the top 5 cards of your deck to the waiting room and deal X damage to your opponent, and this card gains plus 2k power until the end of the turn, where X is the number of climaxes amongst those cards, and of course, this damage can't be cancelled. And the book is a Climax rare, and these are all the same books, like I said. This is just the normal version, the SR version, and lastly the triple R version. This Ranko, I think, is fairly solid. She heals on play, which is really nice. And her second ability is, I think, really cool. I think I'm just going to ramble here for a little bit. I think it's really nice that Blue finally got a different game ender. Like, before, the only game ender was like double attacking, but every color can double attack. Yellow can double attack, like the 3-2 Muse level 3, the 3-2 Sonya we saw in Shining Resonance, those double attack. Red can double attack, like the 3-2 Tachibana. Green can double attack, like the 3-2 Levi. So, blue, what can they do to a game end? Oh, we can double attack. Oh, that's cool. Every other color can double attack. But yellow's got burn on cancel, red's got burn on attack, burn on reverse, green's got clock shoot, and all blue's got is this damn double attack that every color can do, which is not cool. Yeah, also blue's got like that weird game ender where you can, it's like the 3-2 Rin or the 3-2 Fumio, where you choose 2 cards in the waiting room and you don't shuffle it, and you make the opponent shuffle their waiting room and their graveyard and their deck, so they refresh with 2 less climaxes. It's like a pseudo game ender, not really a game ender, just cause that doesn't really like guarantee any damage. Sometimes I like play the 3-2 Rin. It's like, okay, go shuffle your waiting room and your deck, and then they cancel. It's like, oh shit, that sucks. Like, damn it. If only this Rin was an actual game ender. You know what I mean? So I think it's really cool that we finally got a new game ender for blue. I guess you can say Ilya is a cool game ender, and they're blue, but you know, that doesn't count because only Ilya has that really awesome game ending where they burn on attack when you do all that whole wombo combo. I'm not going to explain it, but I'm sure you guys know what that means. But Ilya doesn't count because Ilya is the only one with that cool game ender for blue, and Ilya should be the only set with that game ender because if Ilya wasn't the only series with that crazy game ending, then Ilya wouldn't be cool. But Ilya's really cool because they have that really strong game ending. So, like, you know, Ilya doesn't count. So, you know, finally, a different game ender we see for blue, and I'm really excited because I've been thinking blue's kind of boring, but with this, there's potential that this secondary ability might appear in other series, and I'm excited because I've been wanting a new game ending ability for blue for quite some time. So I'm really excited for this. But anyways, I'm excited for this, but will it actually be good? Let's see. So, Ranko, she combos with the book, and that's good. A lot of blue climax combos at level 3 recently have been climax comboing with the pants, and that's not like a bad thing, but you know, this one climax combos with the book, which is nice because, as we know, the blue in Cinderella Girls already has a pretty good event, which is the heal event that's in the trial deck. And, you know, book allows you to draw into those events. So the fact that you can run books with the strong climax combo in blue is already nice, just because this gives you a chance to draw into your powerful events, like the heal event, and they may potentially get more. So, combos with the book, that's really nice. Her climax combo is extremely cheap. You don't even pay any stock, you don't discard anything. All you have to do is play the book, so it's super cheap. And she gains a decent amount of power. She gets plus 2k, and then the book gives her an extra 1k, so it should be 13k on offense, which isn't too shabby at all. And her climax combo is, it's a little difficult to like properly judge and a little difficult to explain. There's so many variables that go into this climax combo, and I can't really explain it all, or else we would be here for like 3 hours. But still, I think it's good. because you get to mill the top 5 cards of your deck, and for every climax amongst those, you deal X damage to your opponent. So you may potentially deal 0 damage, or you may potentially deal 5 damage. If you attack with Ranko and then you deal 0 damage, if you hit 0 climaxes, it sucks because yeah, you don't deal any damage with the climax combo. But I don't think it's too bad because first of all, like I said, this climax combo is really cheap. You didn't like lose hand size or lose stock, so that's not bad. But also you milled, if you attacked and then you milled 5 non-climax combo cards, that's 5 potential damage you took out of your deck. So yeah, you didn't deal any damage to your opponent with the climax combo, but that's 5 less damage that Ranko got out of your deck. So that's pretty good. Hopefully Ranko doesn't trigger a climax after that, because that would be such a bite in the ass if you attacked, oh, mill 5, no climaxes, and then her attack goes through, climax, that would suck, and that'd be like a really shitty feeling. But still, if you do mill the 5 and there are no climaxes, once again you do take 5 damage out of your deck. But also, if you have multiple Rankos, like let's say you have 2 Rankos, if the first Ranko attacks and you hit the top 5 cards to the deck to the waiting room and there's no climaxes amongst those, the second Ranko, her attack has a really high chance of hitting a climax and a pretty high chance to hit a lot of climax. So when you use multiple Rankos in conjunction, you can make this climax combo pretty consistent, because if like one of them completely whiffs and hits no climaxes, the second and the third one has a higher chance of hitting those climaxes. So with multiple Rankos, you can actually deal like an insane amount of damage just because of how probability works and just how math works. And of course, you can you can use your own judgment to know when this climax combo will be really strong. Like if you have like 10 cards left in your deck and you know at least 6 climaxes are in your deck, this Ranko is gonna be hitting pretty damn hard, or has a pretty good chance to hit fairly hard. And if you have 2 Rankos, your opponent's in deep shit. So, it's really like you just have to know how many climaxes are left in your deck. You just have to do the math, count the ratio of climaxes to damage, and to like properly know if this Ranko will hit. If you have like 40 cards in your deck and like 6 climaxes in there, don't count on Ranko to actually hit. You should probably just use Ranko at that point for a really strong and fast mill. So yeah. This Ranko I think is really exciting. It's really I think it's a lot of fun just because of how how unpredictable it can be. Yeah, how unpredictable it can be. So I think that's really cool. Hopefully the set will get cards that can kind of help it. Like a card I think that would be pretty cool with this would be like something similar to the 0-0 Kosaki we saw in the Nisekoi Extra Booster. The one that on play you look at the top 2 cards of your deck and then leave it and then put it back in the same order. I think that'd be really good with this Ranko just because you play, you look at top 2, if there's a climax amongst those, at least when you climax combo with Ranko, you'll know that you'll be attacking, or you'll be dealing at least 1 damage with the climax. And if you play the 0-0 Kosaki, and then let's say you look at top 2, and there's no climaxes amongst those, that might be a sign that, hey, maybe I shouldn't climax combo with Ranko, because I probably won't be hitting much climaxes, So if they have cards something like that, I think that'd be really good. If they get something like the 3-2 Nozomi or the 3-2 Ilya, the one that on play you could look at top 6 and then put 3 to the waiting room and then put the top 3 back in any order. I think that would be pretty interesting with this Ranko, just cause you look at top 6 and then maybe you could put 3 climaxes back on top, and so that way when you attack with Ranko, you'll at least deal 3 damage. You know what I mean? Maybe you don't want to deal 3 damage, but you could do something like that. And I think that would be pretty interesting. Or if you look at top 6 and there are no climaxes amongst those, you could put 3 away, put 3 back on top, and then when you attack with Ranko, attack with her last. That way you have a higher chance of hitting climaxes. So I think if they have something like the 3-2 Nozomi or the 3-2 Ilya, I think that would be really cool, and I think it'd be really good and fun. With the 3-2 Ranko, I think that'd be a really cool wombo combo thing you can do. It doesn't guarantee the combo, but it makes it a little more likely that you are going to successfully deal damage with their combo. So I think that's really cool. So hopefully they get some kind of support like that, so this Ranko is a bit more consistent and a bit more predictable to use. But yeah, so we'll just have to see if they do get support like that. But as a standalone card, I think this Ranko is, I think it's really fun, really fantastic. It heals, which is always awesome, and she has a really cool and fun climax combo. And it's in blue, and like I said, I've been really excited for a blue game and a different kind of blue game ender for a very long time. And I think this is a pretty fun one and a really fitting one for blue. So yeah, I'm really excited to see this Ranko in action. And this Ranko art, man, freaking, freaking, freaking amazing art right here. So awesome. So yeah, I'm really excited for this Ranko and the climaxes. I'm really happy. Or I think it's really cool when the decks have like alternate art climaxes. So awesome. But yeah, really excited for this Ranko, and I'll just leave her at that. And Friday, right off the bat, another level 3, 3/2 10k double R Maokawa Miku music and cat character. So this is another interesting one. This card synergizes with like all the cards that are coming up. So I'll go over all the cards first, and then we'll analyze them one at a time. So the level 3 Miku, when this card is played from hand to stage or via the act ability of R Lyrics Miku, which is this 2/1 right here, choose up to one. I'm assuming it's over. Choose up to one over from your waiting room and return it to your hand, and this card gains plus 1k power until the end of the turn. She has another ability of when this card declares an attack with the climax over on your climax border, you can pay cost, which is 1. If you do, place the top 2 cards of your deck to the waiting room, and if there's any red characters amongst those cards, deal 1 damage to your opponent. If there's any blue characters amongst those cards, this card gains plus 2k power in the following ability until the end of your opponent's next turn, where this character directly opposite of this loses 1 soul. And of course, this damage can be cancelled. The card that changes into the level 3 is this 2/1/6/5 R Lyrics Miku music and cat character. She has a bond for R Lyrics Nina, which is this 2/1 right here, and the bond is a discard a card bond. And she has a pay 1 ability of she has an act ability where you can pay 1, send 1 R Lyrics Nina, which is the 2/1 right here, to your memory, and this card so you send her and the 2/1 Nina on your field to memory. If you do, choose 1 Maokawa Miku from your waiting room and play it onto the original border of this card. So it's essentially docking. If you are familiar with Vivid Red, exactly the same thing. And over is just like the book. All 3 are the same, but just alternate art. So this is the climax. This is the normal version, the SR version, and the triple R version. But over is a stock 1 soul, if I believe. Yeah. Choose 1 red card in your waiting room. Yeah, so it's a red stock 1 soul. And this card, it synergizes with them, so I'll go over it. It's a 1/3KR asterisk Nina, music and rock. It's a 500 global for music characters, and she also combos with over. When the climax over is placed on your climax border, look at the top 3 cards of your deck and rearrange them in any order and place them back on top. And lastly, the 2/1 Rina that bonds with the 2/1 Miku, and it's the card that needs to be sent to memory with the Miku, is this one right here, music and rock, trait of course. And when you have 2 or more red characters and 2 or more blue characters, this card loses 1 level in your hand, so they can come out at level 1. So where to begin with this whole Wombo combo? There's so much to it. I'm really not too sure where to start. Well, I guess I'll start off with the level 3, because if the level 3 is not good, then what's the point of running all of these, you know? So Miku off the bat, she's 10k, which is normal, and her on-play ability is quite unique. I don't think we've seen an on-play ability like this in forever. So play from hand to stage or via the ability of the 2/1, you get to salvage the climax from your waiting room, and she gets plus 1k until the end of the turn. This is kind of similar to like that Girlfriend Beta blue card we saw a couple months back, where it was like a 3/2 blue character. You played her, and if you have 4 more blue characters, I think you grab the climax from your deck and added it to your hand. And I thought that blue character from Girlfriend Beta was pretty bad, not bad, but not that good, I'd say, just because you grab the climax from your deck and you add it to your hand. And since you're grabbing a climax from your deck, that's 1 less cancel you're taking from your deck, and that's pretty scary. You know, nowadays you need like as many climaxes in your deck, just because the game ending nowadays is so scary. To Love Your Darkness. But anyways, So the fact that this Miku is kind of like that 3-2 girlfriend beta card, but however this Miku gets it from the waiting room, I think it's a lot better. I really like the idea of what they did with that girlfriend beta card, but I didn't like how it grabbed it from the deck. But the fact that this Miku grabs it from the waiting room, I think it's really good. So I think I think her on-play ability is really cool. Yeah, the one in girlfriend beta grabbed any climax, I believe, but that's still one climax off your deck. But this Miku, you can only grab one climax from your waiting room, but her on-play ability essentially guarantees her climax combo, and I think that's really awesome. And her climax combo isn't too shabby, especially because of the fact that it's guaranteed. So when she attacks, you can pay 1, but it's essentially free since the climax is a stock 1 soul, so essentially the climax combo is free. But when you attack, you pay 1. If you do, you mill top 2, and if you hit a red, you deal 1. If you hit a blue, she gets plus 2k, and the opponent directly opposite of this loses 1 soul. Do keep in mind these effects don't stack if you hit multiple of the same color. So if you hit 2 red characters, you don't deal 1 damage twice, because that'd be OP. And if you hit 2 blue characters, you don't gain 4k, and you don't give 4k. You don't give minus 2 soul in front, because it specifically says if there are any red cards, it deals 1. If there's any blue cards, it gets plus 2k. So it doesn't stack. So of course, yeah. So do keep that in mind, because I think some people were confused at first and saying that it's stacked, but it doesn't. Because if it did stack and you hit 2 red cards, holy shit, that would be really strong. But it doesn't. But so this Miku, I think her climax combo isn't super scary, but I think that's a good thing because her on-play ability guarantees her climax combo. So if her climax combo was like super broken, then this card would be really broken. But her climax combo isn't broken, but I don't think it's bad at all. I think it's pretty solid. You play the climax, you attack, you mill top 2. If there's a red, you deal 1. If there's a blue, she gets 2k minus 1 soul. Of course, the burn, as we all know, is really strong. Any form of damage at level 3 is always really good. So the fact that she has a potential of dealing 1 damage is quite nice. And when she hits a blue card and she gets a plus 2k and a minus 1 soul, we all know minus 1 soul by now. Minus 1 soul is always a double-edged sword. So the minus 1 soul is kind of like iffy, but the fact she gets plus 2k until the end of your opponent's next turn is pretty nice. Because let's say you play this Miku, you play the stock 1 soul, you attack, you hit a red, you hit a blue, she'll be 12k until the end of your opponent's next turn. If she survives, next turn if you play another Miku from your hand, you can grab the same climax you just used last turn with the previous level 3 Miku, and then you can use the whole combo again. So the fact that if the one Miku survives and you play another Miku, you got your opponent has to deal with double the trouble because you have another climax combo online. Oh, I'm sorry. With her on play, and if you climax combo in the same turn, she's a 13k on offense. So that's a lot better. So yeah, she could be 13k on offense and 12k on defense. So she has a decent chance of surviving. So the fact that if one survives and if you play another, then they have a big problem to deal with. And same thing, if those 2 live and then you play a third one, then that's 3 consecutive Miku climax combos, with each one being consecutively stronger than the last, that they have to deal with, and that can be really hard for your opponent to deal with. I hope you guys understand what I mean, but if one survives and the next one comes out, it becomes that much worse, and if those 2 survive and the third one comes out, it becomes really hard for your opponent to deal with that. So I hope you guys see what I mean, but I think her climax combo is really cool. Yes, she does have and like we said, the minus 1 soul is a double-edged sword, but do keep in mind this Miku can come out at level 2 with the docking from the 2-1 Miku and the 2-1 Ina. If you can get this Miku out at level 2, and then get her climax combo to hit a red and a blue, she'll be a 12k wall at level 2, and she'll have minus 1 soul at level 2. And that's minus 1 soul at level 2 is pretty damn scary, because it's already hard enough to deal with the level 2 at level 3, but when that level 3 has minus 1 soul in front, that's pretty strong because, if they can't kill it and they want to push for damage, most decks, can front attack a level 3 just to push for more damage. But you can't really do that with this Miku if she has like the -1 soul. Your opponent is gonna have to use like a stock one soul, gonna have to give soul in some shape or form, like with a climax or with an ability, or they just hope that they have to trigger. But if they don't trigger and they don't have a climax, then they have a really high chance of dealing 0 damage to Miku. So the fact that she can have -1 soul in front at level 2, I think is really, 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 really good. And she has a pretty big booty at level 2, sitting at 12k if she does hit a blue card. So I think this Miku is really cool. I think it's really fun. And yeah, so I think all around, I think she's a really fun card. And the docking to get the level 3 out at level 2 isn't too shabby, because the 2/1 Arena is like a pretty strong card if you pull it at level 1. So she can't come out at level 1. All you need to have is 2 red characters and 2 blue characters for her to come out at level 1. And I'm not too sure how plausible this is, just because we don't know the entire list. Like, if your deck is 90% red and 10% blue, then it's going to be pretty hard to fill this 2/1's condition off. But if your deck is like 50% blue, or like 40% blue and 60% red, then it's a lot easier to pull off, you know what I mean? So it really does depend on your deck build, and we don't like, and I can't really, and I can't really think of a strong or like a plausible deck build right now, just because we haven't seen much of the set. But the fact that this does have the potential to come out at level 1, and if it does come out at level 1, it can be pretty good. She's 8k, which is of course really strong for a level 1, and she's level 2, so she can't get suicided, and she's really difficult to side attack. So, like I said, we don't know how plausible this is just because we don't know the entire list, but it does, we'll have to see, but I think it does have a, I'm pretty sure it'll be pretty easy enough for her to come out at level 1. So a pretty solid card you can use at level 1. It really sucks at level 2 because at level 2 she's just a 2/1 8k, but at level 2 she's just used for fodder for the 2/1 Miku. And of course, if you don't manage to get this 2/1 Nina off at level 1, or at level 1 if she dies, at level 2 you can always play this Miku, bond for the Nina, and then dock, and then go into the level 3. So this Nina, not too bad of a card. I think it's pretty solid. Pretty solid. So I think the climax combo is pretty cool. Or I think Miku's a cool card, and she can come out at level 2, and if she does come out at level 2, I think she's really scary. But the icing on the cake is lastly the global assist that helps make this combo all that much more better. 1-0 Asterisk Arena. First of all, 500 global. That's really good. 500 global is always very much appreciated. But she combos with the same climax like I said before. And when you do, you look at top 3 and you put them in any order. And then, yeah. So the fact that she looks at rearranges top 3, I think it's really good. Because you control by looking at the top 3, you control what Miku mills. But you also control Miku's trigger, since, Miku, let's say you play the climax, you use Nina's ability, you rearrange the top 3, you attack with Miku first, you mill the top 2, and then Miku will trigger the 3rd card that you saw with Nina. So that's really awesome. So you control what she mills, and you control what she triggers, and I think that's really, 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 really good. But, also, this Nina climax combo works in all stages of the game. You play this Nina, and then any point of the game after that, every time you play the red stock 1 soul, you can control all 3 of your characters' climax or triggers. So that's really good as well. Controlling your triggers is like, it's really strong. That's the good reason why the 3/2 Nozomi from the School Idol Festival booster is really good, because you can control your triggers and you can control going for precise damage. So the fact that this Nina can control your triggers at all portions of the game, it's a 500 global, and works really well with the 3/2 Miku. I think this Nina is super, 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 super solid, and it's really awesome. And I'm really glad they gave it to. I'm really glad they made it along with the Miku, because without the Arena, the Miku might be a little iffy, might be a little too hard to get off consistently, or it might frustrate players trying to make this happen. Because it's totally unpredictable. But with the Miku, or with the Arena, it becomes all that much more easier for you to hit one red card and one blue card with the Miku when you do Climax combo. So overall, I think this whole little Wombo combo thingy is a lot of fun. I think it can be pretty good, and I'm really excited to see where this goes. And I think Miku's really cute. I think she's a really cute character. Look at that. And Ina's really cute too. So overall, I like Asterisk a lot too. So I think this combo has potential. Not too sure, like, after we see all the other level 3s, I'm not too sure if people will be running this. Maybe they'll have something better, or maybe people won't like the whole idea of this whole like setup and wombo combo-ness, silliness. But I think it's fun, and I think it has I think it has potential of being pretty good. So yeah, and that is all for this week. Cinderella Girls is a really solid trial deck. Like, goddamn, why can't every trial deck be like this? The blue one has like a heal event, have a really solid level 0 Rin. The red one's got, oh, the red one's not that good, huh? It's got a good Suicider, but besides that, I can't think of anything else. The blue one's got freaking the Kirari, and I think the Kirari's really good. The yellow one's got this. So, I think every color's got some pretty good cards, but overall, the trial decks, like, as a whole, all of them are pretty damn solid. So, here's hoping more trial decks will be as solid as Cinderella Girls from here on out. But I doubt they will be. So overall, all 3 trial decks I think are really solid. Oh yeah, and yellow has a really good 2-1 Mio assist, so that's another plus. And we've seen a very small amount of the booster pack today, but I think the booster pack, I think what they've shown this week is just super exciting. And this Ranko art, man, love it. And I think this Ranko is really fun, so I love Ranko. I really like what they did with her, and I think it's a lot of fun, so I'm really excited to see Ranko. Miku, I think it's a lot of fun. I'm not too sure how good, I'm not too sure. I think it's fun, I think it has potential, but I don't think players will run this. Of course, it's a little premature to say this just because we haven't seen all the other level 3s in the set, but I just have a feeling people aren't gonna be running this. Maybe people will make a fun Asterisk deck, but I think like the strongest builds won't be utilizing this Miku, but we'll just have to see. But I really do like this Miku a lot, and I like Miku a lot as a character. So yeah, really exciting week this week, and the up and coming weeks will show more Cinderella Girls. So I'm really excited to see what else Cinderella Girls has to show. So yeah, that's all for this video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and until next time.